Purpose over popularity is something that I say all the time, especially when it comes to being an FTM man and being a part of a community that thrives off of dopamine spikes that are sent through attention, whether it be negative or positive. I disagree with popularity, and I totally live by purpose. Why? Because, as everybody knows, I always say, I transitioned 27 years ago during a time where things that now are commonplace and shared as misinformation and lumped together in the wrong groups were unheard of. Happiness was something that you really had to fight for. You had to earn it. And my journey came with a lot of violence. My journey came with a lot of hard decisions, a lot of perseverance, lost family, lost friends, an entire town looking at me as a pariah, no one willing to get to know me or embrace me, based on, things that they had made up in their own mind. And at first, yeah, I had the same apathetic, loathing, chip on my shoulder, thinking that, oh, woe is me and owning the wrong story. And, this includes a hard upbringing, harder than your average. And that comes from, years of family trauma that I can proudly say I've broken. But I wore that chip for a long time. Unlike the generation now, when I grew up, you actually had to fight. There was no internet, there was no social media. You couldn't just run your mouth and then click off. If you thought you were a man, then you had to prove it by way of the ways the man proves himself. And if you are dwelling in those circles, you know what I'm talking about. So when I say I earned my stripes, I earned them. I took my licks and I gave some. And I'm proud of being able to walk away from all of that and now have the knowledge on top of my education, because I'm extremely intelligent and I've put in the time there. My lived experience, common sense, education, and the love that I have for the young men coming up behind me. It all comes from my story. But the only way I got here was by owning a different one. I took the story that I used to use as pity and I turned it into my absolute power. How? Shadow work. You gotta face the shit you don't like about you. Then you're untouchable. Who go check me, boo?